Hi there, it's Tim with Far North Magic. Today I'm going to be looking at the super drop for December 2022 for the secret layers. We're kind of a little under halfway through the sell-through time for this. It started, I guess, 2 weeks ago, and then it goes for another 18 days from the recording. This Super Drop has a lot of more layers than I was thinking. I guess I didn't pay attention enough to how many were in the Super Drop, because a lot of the time I only buy now the odd secret layer that I might end up using the cards for. Just because I find that they pile up and I don't really end up selling the extras I get. I just put them in a cupboard not to look at them again, which is very stupid and silly. So this group of secret layers is interesting because they're not really doing bundle discounts. They are doing if you spend $200 and in increments of $200, you get a Scarab God promo. So Scarab God's a pretty decent value, but I think the bundle discounts would probably be better for most people. But in this case, they have it as a Scarab God promo to be the bonus if you spend over $200. So I think this is going to make some of the weaker layers pretty low quantity purchase. Like, I think the basic lands will probably be lower than normal, because at least other times you'd just, like, if you got to enough secret layers, you'd buy the bundle because, like, you'd get like the last few layers that you didn't want for not very much more money. At least that's what I found. But in this case, it's very much just pick the few that are the good layers, which I think will lead to a lot of the good layers being pretty high quantity. So, as I said, there's no real discount on the bundles. And moving on to the first, and I guess the other thing is all the secret layers are $30 for non-foil, $40 for foil. And I was looking at some of the values of the cards, and mainly using TCG Player Market to see kind of what cards were valued at. So for Meaning of Life, maybe it has a Forced Fruition, Future Sight, Mental Misstep, Mind's Dilation, and Well of Lost Dreams. The non-foil value is around $25. And the foil value is really skewed by the fact that, like, the Fruition, Mental Misstep, and the Mind's Dilation are all only cards with one foil out there right now. So those foils are really skewed price, and, like, the Misstep's like $140 apparently. For me, I'm gonna pass on this drop just because I don't use any of the cards. I do find it interesting that, like, for the Well of Lost Dreams, they've already done a secret layer card for that. I do kind of find some of the choices interesting. Like, they've had, like, Birds of Paradise multiple times, Swords of Plowshares, and a few other cards. So I don't really know exactly what they're trying to do here. The Well also got reprinted in, like, the Brothers War retro artifacts, so, like, they're very, very plentiful now. So for me, it's a pass. It doesn't, like, if the foil would be kind of tempting if I was looking for foils of those cards. But the non-foil, I would just go get the originals. The Frank Frazetta lair is next, with art done by him. This one has Field Marshal, Temporal Manipulation, Dark Ritual, Midnight Reaper, and Seize the Day in it. And it is a bit better value for the non-foils, with $38 approximately, with about $23 of that being in the Temporal Manipulation. I'm not sure how many people, like, that is a 5 mana, take an extra turn. I guess, like, casuals propping it up, but, like, it's not really, I guess it's used in just Commander and stuff, but I would think at a certain point that that's going to get crushed down pretty hard. As for foils, it's about $57, with like $33 being the manipulation. So at least positive value compared to a price on both of those. So, and the art is pretty unique. So that one is a bit tempting, but I think I'm still going to pass on it as I don't use any of those cards. The next lair is Welcome to Fungal. And this one has some wacky, cool art. It has Abundant Growth, Mycloth, a Gav, Slimefoot, and a Saproling token. Overall, I would have probably liked to have more Saproling tokens than just one, but just is what it is. This one is a very big disaster non-foil, but I kind of look at it almost like the slime lair. Like, that one had like cards that didn't have much value overall, probably, compared to like the price, but the lair was pretty popular with the art. I do have a Slimefoot deck, so I'll probably be looking just for the single. As for the foils, it's still underwater for value, unless for the low, like, versus lowest foil. So I think if you like the art, it's definitely a get, but otherwise I think it's a skip, just because it's definitely, the value's not there. We got, next one up is Special Guest Cozy Dan, and it's a basic land set. For me, I look at basic lands and go, if you like the basic lands, you should get them. I really don't want to pay that price for basic lands myself, but they've just made too many nice basic lands, I think, is part of the thing, and too many competing for too few slots. Like, I think I'll just like stick to like either getting the worst basic lands I can to just make people annoyed at me, or like try and stick to like some unset ones that I have already. Next up would be the Cozy Dan Another Story. This one is interesting for value wise, as with non-foils the total value is over $50, with almost 16 in the Demonic Consultation. Winds of Change used to be a little more than what it is, but it's around $8. Land Werewolves is basically a card you can find for almost nothing in non-foil. Rapid Hybridization is a card that's always kind of surprised me, bouncing in that like around $3 range. And you also get a Sarah Ascendant, which is a pretty nice card in Commander. So for non-foils, the value's there, and it is interesting to see, like, the Demonic Consultation hasn't had a reprint. Winds of Change, it hasn't had a reprint in a long time. So not thinking the price on those will hold for non-foil necessarily, but where it gets interesting also is the foils, because the Sarah Ascendant, the foil is around $40. The Rapid Hybridization's around $14, because it hasn't had that many actual foil printings. And Landwehr Elves is still a pretty solid foil at like a couple dollars. Winds of Change and Demonic Consultation haven't had a foil yet. So that could be one that you're kind of getting your value already, and then those two cards might be pretty solid overall for value. Just because of new foils, and also like the Consultation's pretty good with Thassa's Oracle for that whole combo. So next up is the Artist Series Alexi Bricklot, and this is Eldrazi themed lair with Inquisition of Kozilek, Thought-Knot Seer, Reality Smasher, and Eldrazi Temple. This one is a secret lair that I actually like secret lairs to be, because they're not taking a $40 card and just spamming it out there. But it's a secret lair that I wouldn't buy either, because the value's not there. So I kind of like secret lairs like this, because if you want to express yourself and with these cards, with these art, that's awesome. But you're not incinerating like value of a $40 card all in one shot. So the non-foil value is just over $10. I kind of didn't realize all these cards were pretty low. And then the foil versions are about 27 total. So overall, for me, it's a pass on both fronts. I would probably just get the regular ones if I wanted them. The next one up is an interesting one, and it is the Just Add Milk secret lair. It has 3 cards in it, and we'll start off with the Itali Primal Storm. It is basically a card that has almost 0 value. It is just above a bulk rare, basically, because it gets reprinted in at almost every major, like every 5 deck set of Commander, it basically gets reprinted, and it's had other retail promo foils and stuff. So that's a great card to have in this, because it's a cool looking card. We got Galta Primal Hunger as the next card. It was actually lower than I thought it'd be, around $3 and around $6 for the foil. And then you have Ulamog's Ceaseless Hunger as the big card for this lair. And this one's going to be one that I'm going to look at getting, because I got rid of my Ulamogs earlier, thinking that they'd be like reprinted in Double Masters 2022. Being afraid of them getting crushed there. So, and that's around 47 and 129 for the foil. So, like, I feel that's gonna, I don't feel the layer cards are gonna be that expensive necessarily, but, well, maybe the non-foil would be like $40, but I don't think the foil's gonna hold that high. But definitely cool design. Next up is Wizards of the Street, and it's got 4 cards in it: Kess, Dissonant Mage, Magus of the Wheel, Baral, Chief of Compliance, and Spellseeker. Almost all the value is carried by the Spellseeker. The total value is about 35, and the Spellseeker's about 31. For foil, the Spellseeker carries, again, a lot of value, with 65 of the $83. This is basically a lair. If you need a Spellseeker, definitely buy it. But if you don't need a Spellseeker, I am personally going to pass. Next up is Time Trouble 2. And this is 3 planeswalkers that are in the old frame, in the retro frame, with Narset, Parter of Veils, Nissa, Who Shakes the World, and Tezzeret, Agent of Bolus. The non-foil versions of these cards are very low, at just over $10, and the foils total about 48. This one's interesting because the Narset non-foil is only probably that low because, like, it's been in multiple Challenger decks as a multiple card, so they've kind of spammed out the value. And like a lot of the better versions of the Narset are worth something. So like the lowest foil is about $16. So it makes it interesting to see where this one will end up landing. I don't think I will get this one. Just because, again, I'm trying to like be restrained on just getting secret lairs that I'm going to put in a cupboard. Next up is moving on to the Transformers runs, and they have bundles for them as well. Again, with no real discount, just $1. First up is Transformers Roll Out and Rise Up. So this one, it has a Greater Good, Dramatic Reversal, True Conviction, Biforce, Fabricate, Collective Brutality in it. So for non-foil value, definitely not worth it, because the total's about $12. Yeah, just not very good non-foil value. The foil value is 45, so a bit better there. Definitely, if you like the art, I think that some of the cards are nostalgic for me, but I also kind of like the cards to be just normal cards when I'm playing. So I think this one is another pass, for me at least. And again, like, I think part of the other thing with this batch of lairs is I don't use a lot of these cards. Is, I guess, one of the things of why I don't look to buy many of them. Moving on to the next one is the Optimus Prime versus Megatron. So there is a doubling cube, which surprised me at how much it is. At $15 for non-foil, $80 for foil. Holy cow. But then I remembered that it's only had a 10th edition and 5th Dawn printings for foil, so definitely makes sense. Yeah, we have Darksteel Colossus as Optimus Prime. The foil and non-foil, the cheapest foil and non-foil is around $11 and change. And the cheapest foil is the other Secret Lair printing for it, which kind of doesn't, I guess, forecast a good, crazy value for this one. Though I think this one's kind of a very cool looking one, so I think it will have demand. Just, I don't know who uses Darksteel Colossus anymore, actually. Like, before, I remember back in the day, it was a card that was used, but And then the last card in this one is a Blightsteel Colossus as Megatron, and that's definitely going to be a reason why this lair is purchased, because a Blightsteel is around 57 and around 70 for the cheapest foil. So definitely a good lair if you need a Blightsteel Colossus alone and are okay with it being a Megatron. For me, this is a secret lair I'll probably buy a couple of. One to open for the Blightsteel and one to keep sealed. Then the last secret lair in this is Transformers One Shall Stand, One Shall Fall. And it's basic lands with Transformers art. So it is, again, one of these kind of lairs where it's, if you like the basics, buy them. And if you don't, I don't see a sense in spending the money on them myself. But if you like the art and want to bling out your decks with them, that's fine. I just don't like spending that much on basics myself. But just kind of is what it is. So I'll leave. So for me, I think the ones I'm going to be looking at are the Just Add Milk and the Optimus versus Megatron. And I might look at the Kozadan foil just to get, because of the Demonic Consultation and Winds of Change being first foils. And that one has a bit, like Sarah Ascendant has a backup for value-wise. Other than that, I think the other ones I'm going to skip. I'll probably try and get to that $200 to get a Scarab God, just because I'll be pretty close, I think. And I think that's all for this batch. What are you going to buy of this batch? Are you going to skip them all? Are you going to buy a bunch of them? Are you buying the bundle? Can you let me know in the comments? I'd like to know what people are looking to do. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, and take care, and see you next time. Bye.